NBA is getting interesting as we are kind of shaking off the early season rust, getting things in play. Let's talk about it with an expert. I'd like to welcome on the show Rich Kamla. Rick has been on NBA on my radar forever. You can now check him on the Bettor Sports Network. I've followed him on XM Radio, on NBA, all of that stuff. Rick, we're glad you're here with us, man. How's your morning going?
Rudy, Rob, what's happening down in San Antonio, man?
Well,
wanking for Wemby.
We're wanking for Wemby, as we say.
On, Rick.
Wanking. Okay, so we've taken the T out. We put it so the alliteration has won over here to create a very cringy, awkward phrase. Wanking for Wemby. Okay, I didn't know that. I knew that you guys were tanking for Wemby. I didn't know you were wanking for
Well, it's
Wemby.
all about self-gratification. You know what I mean? You got to get yourself through the day.
Silly radio guy stuff, Rick. Silly radio guy stuff.
So we'll see if we can manage it all season long. And we've talked about it enough. And just before we kind of dive into the season itself, is he worth it? One more voice to tell us that what we're suffering through will be worth it if we actually get there.
Yeah, and look, it's going to be a good draft beyond Wembanyama. So if you get number 2, you get Scoot Henderson.
Nick Smith.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know 3, 4, 5 right now. I mean, college basketball just started, and so have me on again in March, and I'll have a better idea about the top 5 in the draft and all that. It's not that's just too far out in the distance for me right now. It's NFL season, man. I'm following that bouncing pigskin in the NBA, and just got done with the World Series, so it's kind of where I'm at in the calendar here. But yes. Look, when I look at a guy that's 7'5", my immediate concern is, okay, usually a 7'3", 7'4", 7'5", 7'6" guy does not last long in the NBA. These guys don't have long shelf lives because they're so big, and this it's like a blessing and a curse. Yes, you are guaranteed to make the NBA with that body, but how long are you going to stay in the NBA? Sean Bradley, Sojourner Ilgauskas, Yao Ming. Chet Holmgren is a guy that strikes those fears and concerns in me. And I had those concerns when I watched him play at Gonzaga with absolutely no meat on his bones at all. And obviously that had nothing to do with the injury at the Pro-Am when he was backpedaling, guarding LeBron, and he blew a tire. That's basketball. But I do have those concerns about Chet. I do not have those concerns about Victor because he has like a normal body with a 7'5" frame. You know what I mean? He's got some muscle tone. He's got wide shoulders. He's not like super sinewy where you're like, ooh, look at his body, man. That's too skinny. That's not going to work. I think it is going to work. And I still have is he going to be a badass in his age 35 season? Like, I don't know. To me, that's a leap of faith. But dang it, this guy is 7'5" with guard skills. He is something that we have never, ever, ever seen before. And we've said that about LeBron James coming in. We've said that about Zion Williamson coming in. We've said that about Duncan coming in. We've said that about Iverson coming in. He's in that fabric of number 1 overall pick and franchise-changing guy. He is in that category with those guys. The Hakeem Olajuwons, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars, the greatest number 1 picks, the greatest NBA prospects we've ever seen come into this league. Victor is in that category. So yes, I was a little bit like when I saw you guys at 5-2, I was like, I know what's going on here. It's early in the season. The Spurs are healthy. Greg Popovich, by the way, is not going to try to lose games. He's going to put out his healthy crew. Right. But over time, look, you look at this roster, and God bless him. This roster is set up to win 20 games and lose 62. And I believe that's where we're going.
Rick Kamla, you want that kind of insight? Make sure you're tuning into Bettor Sports Network. His show, Bettor Sports Live, is outstanding. You want to talk about on-time analysis, whether you're a fantasy type, a gambler type, Kamla's got you. It's on the Bettor Sports Network. Go find it and listen. It's outstanding. Rick, we're glad you're with us today. I'm glad you brought up the Spurs and the situation they find themselves in. 20 wins, we would be happy with that. And we were kind of surprised early. Now, the Spurs are going to come back to the mean. There have been some other surprises around the league. When does Utah come back to the mean? When do the Lakers rise to the mean? And do the Nets ever come back to the mean?
Wow, great questions. Let's start with the Lakers. I think this is the mean for them. I really do. I am not. Now that I do like the regression to the mean thing. I believe in that. And look, are they 2-8 right now? I believe they're 2-8. So they're playing 20% basketball. They're going to get better than that, but they're not going to get that much better than that. They're not. I did not have this team in the playoffs, guys. Like, not in the playoffs. And now that Utah is good, now the Lakers really aren't making the playoffs. Well, here's the thing with Utah. Markkanen is a good player. Jordan Clarkson is a good player.
Right.
Mike Conley is a good player. Kelly Olynyk is a good player. Malik Beasley is a good player. Colin Sexton is a good player. Walker Kessler is a difference-making rookie. They've got 6, maybe 7. Jared Vanderbilt is on that team. Good player. They've got like 7 good players. Okay.
I was told that wasn't good enough.
Well, hold on. It's not good enough for winning a playoff series, but it's good enough to make the play-in tournament, and it's good enough to be good, win 43 games, go 43-39, something like that. Now, to me, if they stay healthy, because we know the coaches and players don't tank. They're going out there to win every single game. Organizations tank. Front offices and ownership groups tank. And so if Will Hardy is allowed to coach his healthy crew, they're going to be in the play-in tournament. They may catch fire and win out and go to 7 and go to 8 and be a sacrificial lamb for a Memphis or a Golden State or something like that. That's best case scenario. So the ball is in Danny Ainge's court right now. What does Danny Ainge want to do? Does he want to ride this out and give his chance? I mean, think about it. They're undefeated at home. The optics of this team are crazy good. The crowd's going insane about this team. There's a love affair with this team. There's a love fest within the team. It's all good. They're 9-3. They have the 3rd or 4th best record in the NBA right now. So are you going to take a wrecking ball to that and make up an injury for Lauri Markkanen? He's got plantar fasciitis. We've got to shelve him for the next 3 months. Or are you going to let it play out?
Keep in mind, you're talking to Spurs. We're the king of plantar fasciitis down here. We know how to politely load manage.
Right.
Well, Pop started it. We all know that. Pop is the architect of load management, man. So all these people pissed off about, I want to see Luka tonight. I want to see LeBron tonight. Blame Pop. It's his fault.
I totally agree.
I'm kidding, of course. I love Greg Popovich, but he is the patriarch of load management. But back to the Jazz. So I don't see how Danny pulls the plug on a play-in tournament team in that market. You're the only show in town. They absolutely love the Jazz up there. And to me, I think he's going to let this play out and let them take this where it goes. And I think they're going to the play-in tournament. I think they may even keep the LA Lakers from making the play-in tournament. In preseason, I had the Lakers in the play-in tournament, but not winning out to the playoffs. And right now, I've got the Jazz in the play-in tournament and the LA Lakers in the bottom 5 in the West.
Rick, on the betting side, I'm scared of the NBA the first few weeks. I don't know who's in shape. I don't know who cares. It looks like Golden State's going through the motions right now. Like, on the betting side in the NBA, for us passerby bettors, when is it safe to be like, okay, that's real, that's fake? Like, it's tough to bet on NBA in the first few weeks. For me,
it is. There's no question. And thank you for the pimp earlier here with Bettor Sports Network, my nighttime show from 7 to 10 Eastern. We talk a lot of betting, we talk a lot of fantasy, So here's my thing. I've been doing this for a long time. And there are things in the betting realm that I'm good at, and there are things in the betting realm that I'm not good at, okay? And so I focus on the things that I'm good at, and I stay away from the things that I'm not good at, all right?
Gotcha.
Like hockey. I'm not giving anybody hockey advice, okay, on Bettor Sports Live. I love hockey. I'm not a hockey expert, so I'm not going to go there. But I am an expert with the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and college football. That's where I live. Now, for basketball, I am not a point spread guy because of what you said. It is so unpredictable and so random. There are a couple of angles that I will give people. You got to really do some digging for this, but these are some tried and true angles. You get a team that was on a long road trip in their first home game back, play the other team. Okay. So like Golden State the other night, they were on a 5-game losing streak on a 5-game road trip. They come back home. and they were lame against the Sac Kings, and they didn't even come close to covering. And they, the foul thing with Klay Thompson and Kevin Huerter, that was Exhibit A right there. The Dubs were bloodthirsty for a win, and they still couldn't clobber damn Sacramento because, and I've talked to ball players about this, the first home game back after a long road trip, they told me that your honey-do list is way, way too long. And you've got all this stuff. You're back at home. You got to unpack. You got to do laundry. You got to spend time with the kids. You got to spend time with the wife. And you're not fully focused on that opponent coming up. And you're just not in a great headspace for that game. You're still uncluttering your life from the road trip. And we all know how that is. We're all humans, right? You're on a week-long road trip. Yeah, it takes you a day or two to settle back in to your normal routine. That's a target angle. Another one, if you catch a team on the third game in 4 nights, or the fourth game in 5 nights, hit the other team. So these are some angles that if you want to make money, these are tried and true. These are every single year in the NBA. These are truisms. So if you want to look into schedules and really take those deep dives, those are, look, I don't know what the percentages, guys, are, but it's at least 60+%, like historically in those scenarios that you will make money. But, picking on, we got a bunch of games tonight. Picking a random game, with a couple of teams coming off of a win and they've had rest. Okay, good luck. You're just rolling the dice on that one. So you got to find advantages when a team is going to be down, when a team is going to be up. And but I focus on prop bets, guys.
Right. If you listen,
I'm Ricky Props over at Bettor Sports Network. So we've been killing the NBA props this year. We're flying at about 65%. So that's where I live. That's what I'm good at. So we handle the props.
NBA Radio, XM Radio, catch him there. Bettor Sports Network as well. Rick Kamla, NBA knowledge. Thanks for stopping by, man. It's been a long time. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, hey, it's a pleasure, guys. Call anytime, okay?
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Rick Kamla, man. That kind of expertise, that's what you get on the Bettor Sports Network.
Trying to put money in y'all's pockets, man. We look out for the listeners. That's what we do here.